Yep.
Mine's not. That's why I'm
Testing.
Oh, it's on. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. We'd like to call the Children's Committee meeting to order here on February 18th, 2025, 1:31 p.m. I don't have any weather updates for you, but we'll just keep moving along here. We are going to hopefully get through this rather quickly. I will just reiterate for folks that we will hold votes open for an hour once we go into recess. So an hour after recess, for 1 hour after recess, the votes will be held open. And at that time, as we recess, I'll give a specific time as to when votes will close post recess. And we will also move forward for any comments from our ranking member and good co-chair, Senator Marr.
Looking forward to doing the work of the people. Thank you.
Representative Dauphiné.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and looking forward to getting going. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Senator Martin, are you with us online by chance, sir? No. Okay. He's at another meeting. That is okay. All right. Very well. First on our list, we have bills that need to be drafted. First bill on the subsection under subsection 3. Under section 3, subsection number item 1, proposed House Bill number 5474, which is an act concerning the use of social media platforms by individuals 16 years of age and under. This bill would prohibit, as we remember, any social media platforms from targeting children and require that parents to give permission before any child under the age of 16 can create a social media account. Can I please have a motion to vote to draft proposed House Bill 5474?
So moved.
Is there moved by Mars, seconded by Wheelander? Is there any discussion? Representative Dauphiné. Morning, ma'am.
Good morning, and thank you, Mr. Chair. So this bill we talked about in depth with regard to the parental controls that would be put on and mandated. So the conversation that was had was that parents can choose whether they want to get their child a cell phone, a computer, and the like, and they make those decisions based on the maturity of the child and whether they can probably work together with the child with regard to staying away from these kinds of sites. There's also all kinds of apps and opportunities to buy and get for free controls for the parents to use with regard to these devices. So I will be a no on this bill. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
The good representative.
Go for it.
We have a snort from Wheelander on to my right. Thank you. Well, we're gonna do a roll call vote on this. Thank you very much, Madam Vice Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair. We'll do a roll call vote on this vote. Is there any further discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
A motion has been made and seconded to draft agenda item number 1, House Bill 5474, an act concerning the use of social media platforms by individuals 16 years of age and under. Representative Paris.
Paris is a yes.
Senator Marr.
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Wheelander.
Representative Wheelander votes yes.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Dauphiné.
Rep. Dauphiné votes no.
Senator Martin. Representative Belton.
Belton votes yes.
Representative Boyd. Representative Comey.
Yes.
Representative Kitt. Senator Kushner. Representative Lanu.
Yes.
Senator Marks. Representative Martinez.
Representative Martinez votes yes.
Representative Mastro Francesco.
Representative Mastro Francesco votes no.
Representative McGee. Representative Pizzuto. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We appreciate that. Next on the list is proposed House Bill number 6186. This is a bill to draft. It's an act concerning medical records pertaining to prenatal care and mandated reports. This bill would prohibit medical records pertaining to prenatal care from being included in reports made to DCF by mandated reporters. Can I have a motion to draft, motion to vote to draft proposed House Bill 6186?
So moved.
So moved by Mars. Second? Second by Welander. Any discussion? Representative Dauphiné.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I tend to go yes on this bill. I think it's something that is giving the person the opportunity to protect their records, as I understand it. And I think that was what we were trying to clarify. Is that true?
Based on the language that is before us in the proposed bill, yes, ma'am, that is correct.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any other? Thank you, madam. Oh, I see another. Representative Mastro Francesco online. Good to see you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Nice to see you too as well. I kind of tend to agree with Representative Dauphiné in this. I just had a quick question for clarification, if I may. So how would the mandated reporter get a hold of these medical records? Because I'm assuming that, a mandated reporter really could be anybody within a certain profession. I guess, how would they get a hold of these medical records to pass them off to DCF? Would you know?
I would not personally know that question, the answer to that question off the top of my head. Based on what the bill does say, ma'am, it does not specify what a mandated reporter is, but it does specify that a mandated reporter shall not include medical records pertaining to prenatal care in a report to DCF.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. I'm assuming this is just a bill to draft. I'm assuming when the final language comes, there might be more information in it. And would that be a fair assumption?
That is a fair assumption, Representative. And then I'm assuming based on your concerns, you would like to see more specific language as to the definition of a mandated reporter. Is that correct?
That's correct, Mr. Chairman. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. Any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll. Thank you.
A motion has been made and seconded to draft agenda item number 26186, an act concerning medical records pertaining to prenatal care and mandated reporters. Representative Paris.
Paris is a yes.
Senator Marr.
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Welander.
Representative Welander votes yes.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Dauphiné.
Rep. Dauphiné votes yes.
Senator Martin.
Senator Martin votes yes.
Representative Bellin.
Belton votes yes.
Representative Boyd. Representative Comey. Representative Kitt. Senator Kushner.
Senator Kushner votes yes.
Representative Lanu.
Yes.
Senator Marks. Representative Martinez.
Representative Martinez votes yes.
Representative Mastro Francesco.
Representative Mastro Francesco votes yes.
Representative McGee. Representative Pizzuto. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And also, Representative Belton, I think I might have missed you when you had your hand raised regarding this bill, but if there are any further information that you can provide to us and to Representative Dauphiné and or Mastro Francesco, that'd be helpful moving forward. Thank you. Next on our list, we have on our agenda item agenda item number 4, bills for final actions. The first is SB number 1218, an act concerning water safety and swim instruction. This requires that DEEP would establish a program to provide free swimming lessons to youth under the age of 17 who live in a qualified census tract or are eligible for SNAP and or WIC. DEEP may contract with one or more nonprofits to accomplish this. May I please have a motion for a joint favorable to the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Comey, seconded by Mar. Thank you. Any discussion? Representative Dauphinee, followed by Representative Lanu, if you don't mind, sir. Thank you, good sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And, we had some concerns with this bill, several, as a matter of fact. One would be, obviously the cost to the taxpayer. The taxpayers are well overburdened in this state. We have so many people, elderly people, who can't stay in their homes and pay their property taxes. And the list goes on and on and on. This bill, I believe, would only help a certain group of children, and it wouldn't be privy to the entire state. And obviously, that would be a huge task to try to accomplish. But there are concerns, and I think there's going to be some other comments with that, but I'll be a no on that today. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. And to provide a bit of historical context, this is not a new concept to us as a state. This bill has been done mostly with the Boys and Girls Clubs and the YMCAs across the state for a number of years. In fact, it is a smaller ask this year than it has been in previous years. Usually it has been a $1 million grant. We're now to $500,000 in that grant. I do understand your concerns in terms of the reach and catchment areas of those that would be affected by this, and that is duly noted by this committee. But I just wanted to say that this is not a new concept, but rather something that has been done for many years. Thank you. Representative Lanu, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good to see you today.
You as well, sir.
Thank you. I want to just start off by saying I definitely understand the importance of good water safety, making sure, kids have access to swim lessons, that they get the education that they need. Look for mechanisms where perhaps we can streamline some bureaucracy, some unnecessary regulation, get them the access that's needed. However, what's before us, the mechanism we're going through, where we're going to have DEP set aside money and funding for this. If some of the conversations I've had with DEP through the recent years, some of their financial restraints and some of the things they've had to forego as a department. One is hiring more econ officers as far as doing proper water patrols within our waters in the state, our rivers, our lakes. We see that in my district with a number of different ponds and lakes. They don't have some on weekends. They may only have as few as 7 econ officers across the entire state. In the fall, in October, we witnessed throughout the state, including my district, several places several locations where we had some forest fires. Voluntown was one of them in the state forest. Private homes were in jeopardy, and the spread could have been a lot worse. Thankfully, we had some resources. We had a helicopter from Maine that happened to be down here that was able to help and assist putting out those fires. However, there's a number of reasons that could have caused some of these fires to pop up across the state, and some of it being not being able to do proper maintenance, not being able to do the preventative care measures, cutting and clearing that's needed to perhaps prevent this. So with this being on our doorstep, and we certainly saw what happened in California, in the LA area, and my fear is if we start restraining DEP any more than we are and having them take funding away from these vital resources. We need econ officers. We need forest fire prevention mechanisms. So I think this needs to be where the priority with DEP to keep everybody safe, including our children, including our families. So for those reasons and the mechanism that we're using in this legislation, I'm going to be voting no today.
Yes, sir.
For those reasons.
Yes, sir.
But I do appreciate the conversation. I appreciate the hearing on this. But today I'll be a no.
I do appreciate your comments, Representative, and I do agree that I am deeply concerned, and I'm sure many of our colleagues are deeply concerned with the weather-related changes that are happening throughout the world, certainly causing many of the destructive happenstances that are taking place. And I'm also concerned about the flooding as well, sir. And I will tell you that you and I definitely agree there. I will also note that in this bill, it does say that DEEP may accept gifts, grants, donations, and any source of public or private funding for the purpose of establishing and administering such a program. So to your point, I hope that we're able to accomplish all of the things that we hope for this agency to accomplish. And I do not believe, sir, good sir, that it is coming from the same line item that many of those other things are coming from. I do believe that this is separate, and what we would hope to do is get our federal government to send a little bit more money back, so we may be able to give more money back to DEEP, which we understand is a major cut from. But thank you, good sir, for your comments, and thank you, sir, for letting us know how you're going to vote. I appreciate that. Senator Martin, if please go ahead, followed by Representative Master Francesco.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair.
You're welcome.
So if I understand this, part of this, the funds of the allocation of $250,000, it would come from the allocated money from ARPA funding that DEEP had been granted?
That's a very good question, Senator. I don't see anything coming from ARPA based on what, excuse me, Senator, through you, Madam Chair, I'll let you answer that.
Thank you, Senator Martin. My understanding was originally this funding did come through ARPA, and now that those funds are not accessible, that we'll be looking at maintaining the program that teaches thousands of children in our state to swim. And it's a partnership between public and private, so that we're nonprofits are administering it. DEEP is engaged in the idea and in favor of the idea. So and as my good co-chair said, it is less funding than in previous years.
So the 250, is it coming from the Department of, through DEEP, from their budget?
The 250, from my understanding, sir, would go through the general fund and be allocated to DEEP, sir. And DEEP would then send that out to the folks that they're able to contract with, likely YMCAs and or Boys and Girls Clubs, to do that work, simply because they do have the pools at their resources for the children to learn.
So is this going to be a line item in the budget?
I believe that is, as you very well know, sir, I think that remains to be seen just yet, but that is the intent, hopefully.
So this may have to go to appropriations if that's the case.
Depending on, yes, sir.
And if it doesn't, then we're basically telling DEEP to use 250,000 or fundraise or working with partners to raise the 250,000.
Yes, DEEP also has worked in the past, sir, just for historic reference, and I'd be willing to maybe bet my legislative salary on this. They have worked in the past.
Oh,
Not that
man.
it's not
We
that
got
it's a
a
lot
betting
there.
man here.
They have worked in the past with the federal government, good sir, to secure some of these grants. They know where they can get these grants much quicker than the rest of us here in the state level, sir.
Thank you. So
welcome.
if we're going to, DEEP is going to enter into a partnership with various nonprofits, why are just the nonprofits just not simply doing this on their own?
Well, as you know, we've already cut nonprofits as much as we possibly can. They're trying to stretch a dollar as far as they possibly can. As you know, in the budget proposal so far, many nonprofits and other organizations that would likely, community organizations that would likely provide some of these services are being cut. And so I think it's not always incumbent upon the nonprofits. Not every nonprofit necessarily has a pool made available to them and or the resources and connections to make made available to them, which is why the YMCAs and many of the Boys and Girls Clubs are the perfect partnership there.
Okay, I don't see the I guess the responsibility for DEEP to be part of this, teaching, a group of youth to swim. I see that as a nonprofits, and for them they feel that that's what they should be doing. but for deep, it just seems out of their wheelhouse, so to speak.
Yes, sir. And just to once again reiterate, I do agree with you. I don't think that Deep should be teaching people how to swim, sir. The nonprofits would be the entity that would teach the young people how to swim. Deep, simply based on the language of the bill, shall, within provided appropriations, make available that appropriation to establish and administer an annual program that has been in effect for a very long time. So they would not be the ones doing that, sir. You're welcome, sir. Representative Master Francesco, thank you for your question, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to touch base a little bit on the current program that's in place now for teaching children how to swim. Did you say that the current allocation from the ARPA funds was $1 million? Did I hear you say that in your statement?
It was $1.5 million, Representative.
Okay, so we allocated $1.5 million, and this particular funding, the goal is to allocate $250,000. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the $1.5 million that was allocated, do we know, or did we get a report as to, or do we know how many children participated in this program, the current one?
It was per Senator Marr. Yes, we do, ma'am. It was about 2,000 children, ma'am.
2,000 children. And was there a report submitted to the committee on the allocation of the 1.5 million and how the program worked through you, Mr. Chairman?
We did not require a report previously, ma'am, but if that is something that you would like to see in the future, I think that we could certainly discuss that. But we did not require previously a report to come to this committee.
Thank you for that. And the 2,000 participants that participated in the program, where did that information come from through you?
Through the YMCA associations and partnerships, ma'am.
Thank you. So was that something that was requested from our committee chairs or from the committee of how many people are, and I don't remember seeing any testimony put through on that, giving us those numbers. Would you know?
I will gladly put that over to share that question over to Senator Marr, ma'am. Senator Marr seems to have a question, an answer for you. My apologies, Senator.
Thank you.
Apologies. I'm, as the good chairman is speaking, I am also speaking in his ear, so I apologize for that. My understanding was that that is the number that was being served through the Boys and Girls Club as well as through the YMCA's, and I received that information in a conversation with the representative from the Boys and Girls Club. Excuse me, from the YMCA.
Okay, thank you. So I do have obviously a lot of concerns with this. You know, when all that ARPA money was being distributed, it was really supposed to be a one-time usage. And as we see with many programs now, why it's a nice gesture to teach these children how to swim. Obviously, their safety is of the utmost concern. We have to replenish all this money, and we are running this. We are absolutely on a cliff right now. And I have very, very much concerns about them. The other problem I have is when we put programs like this together, we always categorize people. So we only have children or people under the age of 17 that are possibly in a census tract or they're already continuing on the SNAP program. But there's many kids that are just above that level that cannot participate. And then there's many families that maybe that perhaps based on their income, they don't qualify, but they just choose not to because they're struggling every single day just to pay their bills. So maybe they do work full time, they do make a living, but the money that they earn is really just going for to pay their basic needs. And it's just not something that they could afford to obviously to have their children participate in. Do we know, for you, Mr. Chairman, exactly, I know you mentioned that there were 2,000 children that participated. Do we know if anybody was denied participation in this program because of their income limit for you, Mr. Chairman?
Representative, we do not know that based on their income limit. The report was given the report was given to the federal government simply because of it being paid for with federal dollars, ma'am. But no one was denied if they had a need for it, and certainly not denied because of their income levels, ma'am. Through you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. And you said something to me about a report. When you were referencing the report that was given to us, which report were you referencing?
Not necessarily given to us. Contractual the contractual providers had to report the information about how many children had received lessons to the federal government because it included ARPA dollars. That report, I just want to be clear, did not come to the Committee on Children, ma'am. It did go to DEEP and then to the feds. So the commissioner of DEEP would have that report and information made available for your dissection, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, so I'm not going to support this today. I have the same concerns that Representative Dauphinais did, Representative Blanou, and Senator Martin had, and I think those are very valid reasons to be concerned. But I thank you for the dialogue, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. I appreciate you greatly, and I also appreciate the other dialogue and comments. Senator, do you have one more?
Yes, I do.
Yes,
Sorry.
Senator
But
Martin.
if I understand this correctly, so we allocated up 1.5 million. We serviced 2,000 kids. That's $750 a youth, a child. That's a lot of money.
Senator, unfortunately, I've not had children yet, and so I can't say how much it costs for swimming lessons, but I do know friends who do have their young children in swimming lessons right now, and I do know that it's pricey given the various places and private providers that are providing that. I don't know if anyone can say that, but it was 2 years worth, so that's 4,000 kids for the 2-year biennium. So I would probably double those numbers, sir. You're welcome, sir. Any further questions? Seeing no further questions, Mr. Clerk, I do believe that's your cue. Would you please call the roll? Thank you.
A motion has been made and seconded to JF to the floor SB 1218, an act concerning water safety and swim instruction. Representative Paris.
Yes.
Senator Marr.
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Welander.
Representative Welander votes yes.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Dauphinais.
Rep. Dauphinais votes no.
Senator Martin.
Senator Martin votes no.
Representative Belton.
Belton votes yes.
Representative Boyd. Representative Comey. Representative Kitt. Senator Kushner.
Yes.
Representative Lanu.
No.
Senator Marks. Representative Martinez.
Representative Martinez votes yes.
Representative Mastro Francesco.
Representative Mastro Francesco votes no.
Representative McGee. Representative Pizzuto.
No.
Thank you.
All set? Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We appreciate it. Next, we have SB number 1217, an act providing school meals to all students. This would require the boards of education to provide school meals to all students. It requires that the State Board of Education to provide grants to districts to help cover any costs. May I please have a motion for a joint favorable change of reference to the Appropriations Committee? So moved by Kushner. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Marr. Any discussion? Representative Dauphinais. I don't even have to look at you. I know it's you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Appreciate it.
ma'am.
I just wanted to share that I think most people are amenable to serving children of a certain income bracket with lunches, but I think this really expands beyond that to parents that can afford to provide lunches for their children. So I think this is going to be a huge cost to the state, and I would be a no. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate your comments. Senator Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
You're
Mr.
welcome, sir.
Chair, is there any child that is being denied in any of our schools food for lunch, for breakfast? If they are in need, are they being denied?
Good Lord. Senator Martin, if you don't mind, I'd like to bring Senator Marr in on this conversation. Senator Marr, I will allow for you to answer that question directly to the proponent of it. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for your question, Senator. Yes, they are essentially being given a sunflower sandwich. Basically, it because of peanut butter, you can't do peanut butter, so it's a sun butter sandwich. If they do not have the money to buy lunch or they have used up their entire account, they will make sure that they have something, but that is not fully balanced meal.
So how's this bill not addressing those kids? It sounds like those kids do have an allowance or funds to pay for lunch. How's this? We're talking about other kids, 100%, not 50%, but 100%.
That's accurate. And one of the reasons for that is because there's so many reasons. One, you create community when everyone eats together. Number two, you don't stigmatize children. Number three, you create a community where children come back from lunch ready to learn. You don't have children going to the bathroom to avoid the lunchroom so that they aren't seen as not having enough money to buy lunch. There's so many reasons, and this has been done in other states very successfully, and we see it as a very good model, and therefore believe that all children should be fed and ready to learn because they are the future of our state.
So we do this at 100%. What stops us from addressing those who are 65 and over who currently attend a senior center and their budget has been cut by the state, and now we can't feed them lunch for at a discount for 5 days. Now we've got to cut it down to 4 days. Further, regarding going back to the kids to school, has anyone looked at the waste that's taken place in cafeterias where the kids go into the line and they get whatever food that they want and then it goes into the trash? Has any study been done on that before we start spending this type of money on 100%? How much trash is going to be in there? So
Thank you for your question. I think that this is something we did talk quite a bit about during the public hearing. And certainly one of the issues that we know is that when we have funding at a sufficient level to feed all children, we can also look at ways that we are providing, because you're purchasing at a greater level, it opens up doors for purchasing and creating healthier meals that are not being thrown away. And we also have other policies that we can put in place on food sharing, where if someone doesn't like an apple or banana or whatever fruit is being given, they put it in the sharing bowl. That we've seen that very successfully in other schools.
just to follow up that, we're going to address food sharing, and we ought to be thinking about what's being wasted today and then sharing it with the elders who are lacking some food. Thank you.
Thank you, senators. We appreciate the good commentary and questions. Representative Pizzuto, followed by Representative Master-Francesco. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
welcome.
One of the areas I represent is Waterbury, and there are 20,000 students in school right now. And to address Senator Martin's point, Martin, is that there's a tremendous amount of waste. It's a quality control issue. No one wants to see a child go hungry, but the volume of food that gets wasted at the end of the year could probably support a small town in Connecticut entirely, young and old. And so I think that's a variable in the formula that we need to add so that we do some quality control, stop the waste. Now, we have sometimes minimum wage employees that are trying to ring a register and serve the kids 2 or 3 in a calf with 1,800 children daily. So I think that has to be one of the things we have to address before we just approve the bill. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your comments, Representative. Representative Master-Francesco.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to get some verification from Senator Mar. She had, I think, she mentioned that children are being denied lunch or food in the school. Did I hear you correctly through you, Mr. Chair?
Thank you for your question. What I said was, if a child no longer has any money in their budget, in their food budget for lunch, they will most likely be given a, I think it's called a sun butter sandwich, so that they at least have something in their stomach, but in fact, they're not receiving lunch if their budget has been completely used up and hasn't been that money's not been put in it by their parent because the parent could not afford it, because a parent who is making $60,000 a year and who has 4 children is spending over 60,000 net gross, is spending over $5,000 to provide food for their children in school.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, Representative, not mean to cut you off.
No, sorry. I should have said through you. I should have waited for you. My apologies. Thank you for that answer. I'm curious, what is a sun butter sandwich? I have never heard of anybody calling or complaining to me that their child was denied any type of food in school during lunch, and that they're getting a sun butter sandwich. Can you explain to me what that is through you, Mr. Chairman?
Representative Mastrofchesko, I cannot tell you what sun butter is, but I'm hearing from Representative Comey to my right, it's a sunflower. It's usually given to folks when they have a peanut allergy, if I'm not mistaken, and I hear it's quite good, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I guess what I'm trying to figure out is I find it very hard to believe that a child is going to school, their funds ran out, and they are not able to eat the same lunch that everybody else is. Through you, Mr. Chairman, are you telling me that there are schools out there that are giving a child something different than what everybody else is eating because they have no money left in their account? Through you.
Through you, Madam Representative, I will tell you that I think it's done differently across the district, or it's not across the district, across the state. But I will tell you that this bill does require that the State Board of Education provide annual grants, which will meet federal matching requirements and will cover at least 10 cents per lunch served in the prior school year to all public school operators that participate in any school meals program, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just, there's a lot of information that goes around that I consider to be more, I don't know, fear mongering, I guess. I find it hard to believe that a school is giving a child something different. And if they are, quite honestly, I'd like to know what the name of that school is. You're talking about sun butter sandwiches, and if that's, tell me what that is and tell me what the school is that are doing that. I find it hard to believe that any school is denying any child food. I'm going to be a no today because I do agree with Senator Martin and Representative Dauphinais that there is a lot of waste in our lunch programs. And we have some schools that are great, like here in my town, they do what I think they call it like a homegrown week, and everything is fresh. They get it from the farm and all the students are able to eat, and they do it on their own. So I do believe there's a big financial impact on this bill. I believe that students out there that are obviously they cannot afford it, they're still getting their meals, and you can't force a child to eat. Some children they're not breakfast eaters, or maybe they're not lunch eaters. And I think that's where a lot of the waste comes in. And I've also heard complaints from a lot of the kids that the food's not that great. They just don't like it. And some do, and some, that's why they want to bring in their own lunch. I have no further questions, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. I greatly appreciate you. Representative Martinez and Representative Dauphinais for the second time.
Sure. I just wanted to say that I think one of the great things about this bill is that it is for all students. As my colleagues, Representative Mastrofresco and Representative Dauphinais had pointed out on other bills that it wasn't all encompassing. I think this is great, especially since we know families are struggling, and this would put income right back into families' pockets. As far as the waste goes, this free meals program does not have any strings attached that they have to take the meals. So I don't believe that it would increase waste at all. And Senator Martin, I know you had talked about the cost, and I know as a former Board of Education member that our municipalities face a pretty hefty bill at the end of the year for unpaid lunch balances. And obviously, most importantly, I do strongly believe that the last thing a child needs to worry about is hunger pains, and they cannot focus or learn when they are hungry. So for me, this is a children's committee issue. This is a human services issue. This is an educational issue, and I'm really proud to support this bill, and I'm looking forward to advocating for its full passage. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Martinez. Representative Dauphinais, if you just hold on for 1 second. Representative Welander jumped in front of you, if you don't mind. Thank you. Representative Welander for the first time.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Madam Ranking But, the one I wanted just to point out that one of the things that this bill does is catch a lot of the families and the children that don't qualify for free and reduced lunch. This is off the top of my head, so please forgive me if the number isn't exactly accurate, but I believe that in order for a family to qualify for free or reduced lunch in Connecticut, they have to be making $40,000 or $45,000 or less a year, which is very low. So even if you're making 47,000, which is still very low for especially for a family of four, this would allow those families that don't qualify for additional assistance to be to ensure that their kids are eating, and so that I think is important because I wish we could use the ALICE numbers for qualification for supports, but unfortunately we cannot. So this makes sure that all of the kids that are able to eat. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you to the good vice chair of this committee, Representative Dauphiné, our good ranking member. Ma'am, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And a couple things. I just want to clarify, when I was talking about not all children included across the state with regard to swimming, I was talking about in the low income bracket, not families that can afford it, but that was just a clarification there. But I've also heard from many individuals, those parents and teachers, not teachers, but cafeteria staff, that children are not given something different when they don't have a lunch, that they're given what everybody else has, and they're not kind of, if you will, pointed out. And I probably have, it's probably hearsay for me as it is for Senator Marr. I would really like to see some data on that. I think that would be helpful to all of us. Are children being pointed out with sunflower sandwiches, or are they in fact being given a lunch just like everybody else? Because that's what I'm told. But thank you for that opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Representative. I appreciate your comments. Any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, Mr. Chair, please call the roll. Or Mr. Clerk, please call the roll. I keep promoting Christian, for goodness sake. Please call the roll, Mr. Clerk.
A motion has been made and seconded to joint favorable change of reference to appropriations, SB 1217, an act providing school meals to all students. Representative Paris.
Paris is a yes.
Senator Marr.
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Welander.
Representative Welander votes yes.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Dauphiné.
Rep. Dauphiné votes no.
Senator Martin.
No.
Representative Belton.
Belton votes yes.
Representative Boyd. Representative Comey. Representative Kitt. Senator Kushner.
Yes.
Representative Lanu.
Yes.
Senator Marks. Representative Martinez.
Representative Martinez votes yes.
Representative Mastro Francesco.
Representative Mastro Francesco votes no.
Representative McGee. Representative Pizzuto.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Next, we have SB number 1213, an act concerning the Legislative Commissioner's recommendations for revisions to statutes relating to children. This is our annual bill to make technical corrections to statutes relating to children. May I please have a motion for a joint favorable to the floor?
So moved.
Moved by Marr. Is there a second? Second by Welander. Any discussion? Representative Dauphiné.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I just want to, you did mention technical changes. So that is all this bill does, is technical changes.
From
Can
my
you
understanding,
confirm?
yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
A motion has been made and seconded to JF to the floor, SB 1213, an act concerning the Legislative Commissioner's recommendations for revisions to statutes relating to children. Representative Paris.
Yes.
Senator Marr.
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Welander.
Rep. Welander votes yes.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Dauphiné.
Rep. Dauphiné votes yes.
Senator Martin. Representative Belton.
Belton votes yes.
Representative Boyd. Representative Comey. Representative Kitt. Senator Kushner.
Yes.
Representative Lanu.
Yes.
Senator Marks. Representative Martinez.
Representative Martinez votes yes.
Representative Mastro Francesco.
Representative Mastro Francesco votes yes.
Representative McGee. Representative Pizzuto.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We appreciate that. Next, we have House Bill 6185, an act concerning the consumption of energy drinks by children. This will create a working group to make recommendations for the development of signage on the risks of energy drinks consumption by children, which will be posted anywhere that these drinks are sold at retail. Furthermore, this will establish a working group to study those medical risks, and the group will be tasked with making recommendations for various public awareness initiatives related to these risks. And it would also require that the Department of Consumer Protection to use the working group's recommendations to create signage alerting consumers of the medical risk of energy drink consumption by children, which we will then be required to be displayed anywhere that these drinks are sold, again in retail. May I please have a motion for a joint favorable to the floor, Representative Martinez? Thank you, ma'am, for the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Senator Marr. Is there any discussion? Representative Dauphiné, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sorry. Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is the second time we've talked about this. This came up last session, and I honestly didn't learn anything new about energy drinks. They both have, energy drinks have caffeine, as does coffee, and they're the only stimulant in both drinks. The caffeine, many other agents are in them, but they are not stimulants. There wasn't any indication of that. I've done a lot of research. As a matter of fact, many of these coffee drinks have far more caffeine than a regular energy drink can. It seems as though we're picking winners and losers. We're deciding that energy drinks are the losers and coffee prevail, and kids can go to Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts and enjoy their coffee drinks, but are going to be, under scrutiny for the energy drinks. A notice indicating that there are medical risks associated with the consumption of energy drinks would neither be factual nor uncontroversial. To the contrary, the safety of energy drinks is supported by an overwhelmingly body of scientific literature published by FDA, public health authorities, and in other countries with high regulatory standards and other reputable independent parties. I think that this is a bill that we should not pass out of committee, and I will be a no today. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Representative Comey, ma'am.
Thank you so much. So I know this is just a working group, but I was looking at the definition of the energy drinks, and it says not less than 80 milligrams of caffeine per 9 fluid ounces. And I just did a simple Google search of how much is in 8 ounces coffee and caffeine, and it was more than that. So I'm wondering if this is going to cover like all of our coffee shops. Are we talking about signage everywhere as far as, or it says, and these other things. And so the herbal ingredients and energy blends and things like that. And I'm just wondering, like my gym, things like that. we have drinks being served everywhere. And so I was just wondering if this would apply to them as well.
Thank you, Representative. It states in the language of the bill that on or after January 1st of 2026, that each individual firm, fiduciary, partnership, corporation, limited liability company, trust, or association engaged in the business of selling energy drinks to retail consumers in the state shall post a copy of the notice developed pursuant to subsection B of this section in a conspicuous place at the point of sale for such energy drinks, ma'am. I hope that answers your question. You're welcome. Any further questions? Any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
A motion has been made and seconded to JF to the floor, HB 6185, an act concerning the consumption of energy drinks by children. Representative Paris.
Yes.
Senator Marr.
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Welander.
Representative Welander votes yes.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Dauphiné.
Rep. Dauphiné votes no.
Senator Martin. Representative Belton.
Belton votes yes.
Representative Boyd. Representative Comey. Representative Kitt. Senator Kushner.
Yes.
Representative Lanu.
No.
Senator Marks. Representative Martinez.
Representative Martinez votes yes.
Representative Mastro Francesco. Representative McGee. Representative Pizzuto.
No.
Thank you.
Tell us. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We appreciate that. Next, we have House Bill number 6180, an act concerning notice of firearms by operators of a family child care home. This would require that operators of family child care homes to disclose the presence of firearms, including the number and type of firearms, to parents annually and upon any new enrollment. It also allows the Office of Early Childhood to deny a license to a family child care home operator if they fail to comply with these notice requirements. Can I please have a motion on the motion for joint favorable to the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Marr, seconded by Kushner. Thank you. Any discussion? Representative Dauphiné, you have the floor, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
It's in our thing.
Doesn't even look at me anymore. This bill again, I think picks winners and losers. We're after great scrutiny and a regulation check and having to pass all kinds of licensure tests of these daycares. They have to show that they have their firearms locked up as required by law. And now we're deciding that we're going to pick them out of a group of people that might have things that are harmful in their homes to children, such as perhaps opiates, marijuana, alcohol, bows and arrows. We don't ask them if they have bows and arrows in their homes. But I would say that none of the daycare families have been precluded from asking that question of a daycare provider. And the daycare providers haven't been prevented from answering that should they choose to do so. I really think this is an assault on our daycare providers that do have firearms. The fact that, again, they have to pass, the laws, the scrutiny of what is required, and the fact that we are asking them to advertise this is just not right. And I will be a no on this bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. I should also add that in addition to including notification of a list of number and type of each firearm stored in the house, it does require that each parent and or guardian to acknowledge receipt of such notification by providing that guardian or parent's signature. So I just wanted to add that for clarification as well. Thank you, Representative. Any further questions or discussion? Representative Pizzuto.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome, sir.
I've been a licensed firearms holder for 40 years. And today, the scrutiny is twice as bad as it was years ago. You have to get fingerprinted, background checks, pass safety courses, have trigger locks, ammunition box locks, and so forth. So I would probably feel more comfortable if I knew that the person watching my grandchildren was passed all those state exams and tests and scrutiny that's put before them. If they are not, then they're violating the law. But I don't see us asking any other group that oversees children, Boy Scout, Cub Scout leaders, Girl Scout leaders, and so forth, an overnight stay, say, that carry firearms. So I think that it's the way it's perceived. By asking that question, we plant the seed subliminally in the minds of potential parents who want to leave their children there and say, well, geez, no, they may have a gun. So I don't understand. If there were no other laws regulating that, I would agree. But unfortunately, I have to vote no on this bill. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Representative. I appreciate your comments. Any further discussion? Okay. Seeing no further discussion, Mr. Clerk, please take the roll.
A motion has been made and seconded to JF to the floor. Agenda item number 7, HB 6180, an act concerning notice of firearms by operators of family child care homes. Representative Paris.
Paris is a yes.
Senator Marr.
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Wieslander.
Representative Wieslander votes yes.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Dauphiné,
Rep. Dauphiné votes no.
Senator Martin,
Martin is a no.
Representative Bellin,
Belton votes yes.
Representative Boyd, Representative Comey, Representative Kitt, Senator Kushner,
Yes.
Representative Lanu,
No.
Senator Marks, Representative Martinez,
Representative Martinez votes yes.
Representative Mastro Francesco, Representative McGee, Representative Pizzuto.
No.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, could you use the microphone for those of us on Zoom?
Yes, Madam Representative. Never mind. Yes, Madam Representative, I can. Might need to have a general allocation to this hearing room. May I please have a motion for a joint favorable to the floor on House Bill 6185?
So moved.
So moved by Martinez, seconded by Welander. Seconded by, excuse me, Mar, my apologies. 6840, my apologies. Once the microphone got in the way, I got mixed up here. My apologies. May I please have a moment? May I please have a motion for a joint favorable to the floor on House Bill 6840? So moved by Martinez, seconded by Kushner. Any discussion? I'm looking at you. You're looking at me. Representative Dauphiné.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I know this is important to the chairman, and I understand that, and I'm sympathetic to that, but I really struggle with our expansion with daycare. I know we do as a government, again, provide low-income families with supports with regard to this, but I just see this as going in a big way across the state with, again, a big, huge increase in cost to the taxpayers of the state. And that brings a lot of concern to me. I know there were a lot of questions and concerns. I don't know if anybody else has any questions, but I'll be a no on this today.
Thank you, Representative.
you.
I appreciate that. Any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
A motion has been made and seconded to JF to the floor, agenda item number 8, HB 6840, an act requiring the Office of Early Childhood to study the availability of childcare services throughout the state and to develop a plan to address infant and toddler childcare services needs for low-income families. Representative Paris.
Paris is a yes.
Senator Marr.
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Welander.
Representative Welander votes yes.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Dauphiné.
Rep. Dauphiné votes no.
Senator Martin.
Yes.
Representative Bellin.
Belton votes yes.
Representative Boyd. Representative Comey. Representative Kitt. Senator Kushner.
Senator Kushner votes yes.
Representative Lanu.
Yes.
Senator Marks. Representative Martinez.
Representative Martinez votes yes.
Representative Mastro Francesco. Representative McGee. Representative Pizzuto.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We're almost complete here. We have now House Bill number 6900, an act establishing a task force to study child development and prenatal depression screening tools and data sharing systems. This bill would essentially establish a task force that would look at developing guidelines for the use of developmental screening tools and screening tools to identify prenatal depression, as previously stated, and develop an online data sharing system to measure progress and outcomes and also improve services and identify trends in areas of need. May I please have a motion for a joint favorable to the floor?
So moved.
It's moved by Mars. Is there a second? Seconded by Welander. Any discussion? Representative Dauphiné.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Welcome.
I'm just trying to clarify here. There's some concerns with privacy with this, this bill. The person would be identified and then go into a data system, and then the task force would then make the decision how this would be implemented in terms of further use. Are you able to expand on that a little bit?
Just again, this is a task force, so the task force would determine where that would essentially end up. And I'd just like to say for the record, it was perinatal and not prenatal. My apologies on that front. I just thought that Chris Cordima didn't know how to type, so I apologize there. But I just wanted to, I love you, Chris. I just wanted to let you know that that is yet to be determined simply because that task force would determine the outcomes there, ma'am.
Thank you. I think that's the concern that was conveyed to me, personal information being shared and where this is going. So I'll be a no on that today. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate your concerns. Any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, Mr. Clerk, please take the roll.
A motion has been made and seconded to JF to the floor. Agenda item number 9, HB 6900, an act establishing a task force to study childhood development and perinatal depression screening tools and data sharing systems. Representative Paris.
Paris is a yes.
Senator Marr.
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Welander.
Representative Welander votes yes.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Dauphiné.
Rep. Dauphiné votes no.
Senator Martin. Representative Belton.
Belton votes yes.
Representative Boyd. Representative Comey. Representative Kitt. Senator Kushner.
Yes.
Representative Lanou.
Yes.
Senator Marks. Representative Martinez.
Representative Martinez votes yes.
Representative Mastro Francesco. Representative McGee. Representative Pizzuto.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have House Bill 6903, an act establishing a pilot program to disseminate information concerning child care services, early intervention programs, and financial assistance programs to patients receiving prenatal care. This bill would require that the OEC administer a one-year pilot program where they would partner with 5 hospitals to disseminate such information about those child care services. And it would also select those 5 hospitals to partner with, prioritizing the hospitals in child care deserts, serving low-income families, compile and share those documents for dissemination in the patient's first trimester whenever possible, and track how many documents are distributed monthly. Do I have a motion for a joint favorable change to reference to the Public Health Committee?
So moved.
So moved by Marr. Is there a second? Second by Martinez. Thank you, madam. Any discussion? Representative Dauphiné.
I just have one quick question because I'm on public health too. So
Yes,
this is coming to me no matter what. But my question is this the goal here is to have a packet of information, and who would pay for that?
The hospitals would, the packet would be provided and essentially created by the Office of Early Childhood, disseminated to the hospitals, and they would essentially print out any of that information and provide that information to the families.
So the cost would be on the hospital?
It would be on the hospitals. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
just want to clarify. Thank you so much.
No, you're welcome, ma'am. Any further conversations, discussions, questions, comments? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
A motion has been made and seconded to joint favorable change of reference to Public Health, HB 6903, an act establishing a pilot program to disseminate information concerning child care services, early intervention programs, and financial assistance programs for patients receiving prenatal care. Representative Paris.
Paris is a yes.
Senator Marr.
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Welander.
Representative Welander votes yes.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Dauphiné.
Rep. Dauphiné votes yes.
Senator Martin. Representative Belton.
Okay. Belton
Repres-
votes yes.
Representative Boyd. Representative Comey. Representative Kitt. Senator Kushner.
Yes.
Representative Lanou.
Yes.
Senator Marks. Representative Martinez.
Representative Martinez votes yes.
Representative Mastro Francesco.
Representative Mastro Francesco votes yes.
Representative McGee. Representative Pizzuto.
Yes.
Thank you.
Last but certainly not least, we have House Bill 6899, an act concerning early educator pay equity. This would require that staff to early childcare and education programs across our state to be paid according to the OEC compensation schedule, and establishes a grant program to support providers in paying these salaries. There's more detail that I can provide through the sections 1, 2, and 3 if there's additional information that's needed. With that said, can I please have a motion for a joint favorable change of reference to the Education Committee?
So moved.
So moved by Mar, second by Welander. Any discussion? Representative Dauphiné.
I knew you'd be disappointed if I didn't say something. I think this is most appropriate to go to education. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Representative. I greatly appreciate that recommendation. Any further discussion? Senator Martin? Thank you very much. Seeing no further discussion, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
A motion has been made and seconded to join favorable change of reference to education, HB 6899, an act concerning early educator pay equity. Representative Paris.
Paris is a yes.
Senator Marr.
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Welander.
Representative Welander votes yes.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Dauphiné.
Rep Dauphiné votes yes.
Senator Martin. Representative Belton.
Belton votes yes.
Representative Boyd. Representative Comey. Representative Kipp. Senator Kushner.
Senator Kushner votes yes.
Representative Lanou.
Yes.
Senator Marks. Representative Martinez.
Representative Martinez votes yes.
Representative Mastro Francesco.
Representative Mastro Francesco votes yes.
Representative McGee. Representative Pizzuto. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. That concludes our business for today. The committee will stand at recess. The votes will be open for 1 hour from now, which would be 3:37 p.m. Oh, my goodness. Senator Martin, my apologies. Do you have a question? Oh, Senator Marr had. Thank you, everyone.
Mr. Clerk, are you still there?
Anyone know if the clerk is still on?
He's probably just getting the people in the room.
Yeah, I see that he's still on. That's probably what's happening.
Hello, just give us 1 second to organize the votes and then we'll be right with you.
All right, thank you.
And I'd go through the votes with Mastro Francesco, Representative Mastro Francesco, and then I'll circle back with the remaining votes for Representative Kip.
Thank you.
So Representative Mastro Francesco, we're gonna start with 6815, which was the first one you missed.
6185, so energy drink bill,
Yep.
that's a no.
Thank you.
Okay.
They gave us a little bit of money to administer.
Then the next one is 6180. Agenda item
That's a no.
okay. 6840.
No.
Okay. And then 6900.
That's a no as well.
Great. Okay, perfect. That was the only ones you missed.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Now let's. Who do you need next? Yeah, she missed all of them. Okay. So just, can you start it over? Just give us 1 second, Representative.
Sure.
Do you have the agenda in front of you? Or do you need me to say the names?
If you could say the names.
So agenda item number 1, HB 5474, an act concerning the use of social media platforms by individuals 16 years of age and under.
Yes.
Then we have 6186, an act concerning medical records pertaining to prenatal care and mandated reports.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having this night.
Thank you. Agenda item number 3, an act SB 1218, an act concerning water safety and swim instruction.
Yes.
Agenda item number 4, SB 1217, an act providing school meals to all students.
Yes.
I don't want to cut.
Agenda item number 6, HB 6185, an act concerning the legislative commissioner's recommendations for revisions to statutes relating to children.
Yes.
6185, an act concerning the consumption of energy drinks by children.
Yes.
6180, an act concerning notice of firearms by operators of family child care homes.
Yes.
HB 6840, an act requiring the Office of Early Childhood to study the availability of child care services throughout the state and develop a plan to address infant and toddler child care services needs for low-income families.
Yes.
6900, an act establishing a task force to study child development in perinatal depression screenings, tools, and data sharing systems.
Yes.
6903, an act establishing a pilot program to disseminate information concerning child care services, early intervention programs, and financial assistance programs to patients receiving prenatal care.
Yes.
Okay. And we have last one, 6899, an act concerning early educator pay equity.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, you want to just shoot me an email? Hello, Representative.
Hey, sorry,
No worries.
when to catch on. So,
Okay. Do you need the agenda in front of you, or do you?
no, if you could just run it down quick with just a quick title.
Yep. So we have HB 5474, an act concerning the use of social media platforms by individuals 16 years of age and under.
Yes.
Okay. 6186, an act concerning medical records pertaining to prenatal care and mandated reports.
Yes.
Diana can deal with it when you get back. Yes.
1218, an act concerning water safety and swim instruction.
Yes.
Okay.
It can't be Diana, but I think she sees.
1217, an act providing school meals to all students.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, if this doesn't happen for next.
1213, an act concerning the legislative commissioner's recommendations for revisions to statutes relating to children.
Yes.
And you need to champion.
Okay.
And you can just be like, Jen's here. Relative to.
6185, an act concerning the consumption of energy drinks by children.
Yes.
There's a lot of drama and it's not necessary. It's just.
6180, an act concerning notice of firearms by operators of family child care homes.
No.
Six eight four zero, an act requiring the Office of Early Childhood to study the availability of child care services throughout the state and to develop a plan to address infant and toddler child care services needs for low-income families.
Yes.
All right, 6900, an act establishing a task force to study child development, perinatal depression screening tools and data sharing systems.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
6903, an act establishing a pilot program to disseminate information concerning child care services, early intervention programs, and financial assistance programs to patients receiving prenatal care.
Yes.
Okay, one last one for you. 6899, an act concerning early educator pay equity.
Yes.
Perfect. You're all set. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Christian. Appreciate it.
I tried to admit my age.
That's everything. Hello, Representative.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Do you need me to say the titles?
Sure, that would be helpful.
Sure. HB, agenda item number 1, HB 5474, an act concerning the use of social media platforms by individuals 16 years of age and under.
Yes.
Okay. HB 6186, an act concerning medical records pertaining to prenatal care and mandated reports.
Yes.
An act concerning water safety and swim instruction.
Yes.
Well, 17, an act providing school meals to all students.
Yes.
SB 1213, an act concerning the legislative commissioner's recommendations for revisions to statutes relating to children.
Yes.
Okay. 6185, an act concerning the consumption of energy drinks by children.
Yes.
Okay. 6180, an act concerning notice of firearms by operators of family child care homes.
Yes.
6840, an act requiring the Office of Early Childhood to study the availability of child care services throughout the state, develop a plan to address infant and toddler child care services needs for low-income families.
Yes.
Okay. 6900, an act establishing a task force to study child development and perinatal depression screening tools and data sharing systems.
Yes.
6903, an act establishing a pilot program to disseminate information concerning childcare services, early intervention programs, and financial assistance programs to patients receiving prenatal care.
Yes.
Okay. 6899, an act concerning early educator pay equity.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, and then my fine.
Yep. All right, you're all set, Representative. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Representative Comey, just give us 1 second to organize the votes for you.
Okay.
Okay, so we're starting on agenda item number 76180, an act concerning notice of firearms by operators of family child care homes.
Yes, I just want to say that I would like to see section 2 review before we provide it for before I vote on it in the House, but we'll vote in support of it, yes, today.
Thank you. Okay, next is 6840, an act requiring the Office of Early Childhood to study the availability of child care services throughout the state and to develop a plan to address infant and toddler child care services needs for low-income families.
Representative Comey votes yes.
Okay. 6900, an act establishing a task force to study child development and perinatal depression screening tools and data sharing systems.
Representative Comey votes yes.
Perfect, thank you. 6903, an act establishing a pilot program to disseminate information concerning child care services, early intervention programs, and financial assistance programs to patients receiving prenatal care.
And that's being referred, correct?
Yes, that's being referred to public health.
Okay, yes. Representative Comey votes yes.
And this one is being referred to education. 6899, an act concerning early educator pay equity.
Representative Comey votes yes.
Perfect. All right. All right, we're all set. Thank you, Representative.
Thank you, Christian.
Hi, Senator.
I have.
We're just wanted to clarify one vote.
Yeah, the first one, I believe. Yeah,
Yep.
I'll vote yes on that one.
Perfect. Thank you so much. You're all set
All
then.
right, thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Hi,
Senator,
sorry, I was sharing housing.
of course. I'm sure it's exciting over there.
So
So I'll just go through. Do you need the bill titles?
yes, please.
Sure. So first one we have is HB 5474, an act concerning the use of social media platforms by individuals 16 years of age and under. And this was to draft.
Yes.
Perfect. HB 6186, also vote to draft an act concerning medical records pertaining to prenatal care and mandated reports.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, this one is a JF to the floor, SB 1218, an act concerning water safety and swim instruction.
Yes.
Next is 1217, also this is a JF change of reference to appropriations and act providing school meals to all students.
Yes.
This is 6185, an act concerning the consumption of energy drinks by children.
Yes.
SB 1213, an act concerning the legislative commissioner's recommendations for revisions to statutes relating to children.
Yes.
This one is 6180, an act concerning notice of firearms by operators of family child care homes.
Yes.
Six 6840, an act requiring the Office of Early Childhood to study the availability of child care services throughout the state and to develop a plan to address infant and toddler child care services needs for low-income families.
Yes.
HB 6900, an act establishing a task force to study child development and perinatal depression screening tools and data sharing systems.
Yes.
Six 6903, an act establishing a pilot program to disseminate information concerning child care services, early intervention programs, and financial assistance programs to patients receiving prenatal care.
Yes.
And then the last one, an act concerning early educator pay equity.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, we're all set here. Thank you.
Get you. Sorry it took me a while.
No worries. Thank you.
But he's still on.